It's another video from Ozzy's Robot. Brought to you by the Banana Collection.
All right, everyone. I finally got this thing unboxed because it was packed so damn well. I didn't want to mess with it. Can you imagine? Sometimes they're packed with all their inserts. I'm like, do I really want to open this? And finally, I caved in. But anyway, welcome back, my friends. Before we get rolling, get comfortable in your big, giant chair and grab yourself that morning cup of coffee. If you're on the East Coast like me, maybe it's tea, whatever it is, or maybe you're at lunchtime or evening, but get a drink, get comfortable, grab a snack. Today I'm drinking Smart Water. Did it make me smarter? Probably stupider for spending the money for it. But you know what? When I bought this, they ran out of regular water, if you could believe it. This is vapor distilled and electrolytes for taste and purely balanced pH. The one thing I gotta say, this bottle is great, nice and firm, the way they all used to be. Why is it that some bottles can be nice and firm and thick? You know, as I'm making these videos in this building, I wonder if the people upstairs can hear me or across the hall and be thinking, what the heck is this psycho talking about? We just hear him rambling about weird stuff and telling people to grab coffee and tea and stir it and clank it and sweeten it. This must be like some psycho in there. Who knows what the hell they're thinking? If they could hear. Maybe they can, maybe they can't. But anyway, if you're ready to pay attention, my friends, and maybe there are people that aren't my friends here. That could be a possibility too. We're going to look at this cool mystery forklift. I bought this toy for like $150. Let me tell you something. If you're starting a collection and you can find a toy like this for $150, man, I say jump all over it. Holy cow. Excuse me while I grab, you know what I'm going to do? I see a little spot. I'm going to put my detailer on here. I'm going to try to wipe as I talk. Oh man, it came right off. Look at that. See that? See that? I thought it was like rust and it came right off. That is freaking awesome. See, John, I know at the Robot Hut, says his toys earned the dirt. I like them clean. This is where we differ, John. I like my toys clean and shiny. But anyway, so this toy, I think the guy was asking like $250, and it was kind of like, do I even have a place to display this? I was like, not really, but I really dug it. You know, it's just big tin. It has this cool guy on it. So let me do a flyby. Yeah, and it was so complete too. So it's a big, beefy, all metal toy. I got to be careful not to turn off the video as I do this. Well, you know what? Let's do the box first, because I'm going out of my routine. You know, we're creatures of habit. So anyway, first of all, the thing looked like brand new, like it came out of the store yesterday. Look at how white this box is. I mean, that is a friggin' amazing in and of itself. It does have this one little spot here, which is unbelievable. But other than that, like this thing, the white, they're usually like tan and brownish from aging, but this is like almost pure white. I like the graphics, although my experience at the airport these days is so miserable. I guess maybe this harkens back to when you could fly and people knew what the hell they were doing, and there was actually customer service and seats that didn't make you feel like you were a freaking sardine. The good old days, you know, where people were treated with dignity and respect. Anyway, this is a Rosko toy, 04300, made in Japan. But who is the real maker? Could be Nomura TNN. I'll see if there's a logo on here. Now, can I display this at the collection here? I have no idea. I have no idea if this is going to fit anywhere. Right now, I'd say no, but I'll save it. Maybe one day I'll have even more places to display things. And again, like I said, this thing is like brand new. I like new old stock, the terminology for new old stock, something that looks like it just sat and nobody touched it. I mean, even the staples are perfect. They're not like jostled around where the holes get bigger. Okay, here's like an extra staple. I could pull it off if you ever need. You know, these copper staples are handy to have. It's the battery-operated mystery forklift with luggage on skid. And it is on a skid, by the way. It's literally on a metal pallet. I'll show you. Lifting and lowering actions. And I guess it moves in this pattern, straight, right, and over. So the box is just a guide. Now, again, you know, when I started out in corporate America in sales many, many moons ago, I remember I would go help the warehouse people when I had extra time, and I got to learn how to drive the forklift, and I could unload the trucks, and I was like really digging that forklift, man. I really enjoyed and you felt accomplished, you know. You need skill to do this kind of stuff. It's not like any schmuck can get in a forklift and unload and load and be able to, you know, stack skids on top of each other. That was a fun time in my life. But anyway, let me take the pallet off, and you see here, it actually has this metal like pallet, I call it. I guess that's what they're called. I actually get stuff delivered on wooden pallets at the museum, and it's a freaking pallet of toys. Look at that, toy. And these are going to ABC New York. I'm guessing it's ABC Toy Store. And look, it has Japan. It's just so freaking cool. So cool. And then the way the pallet is set up, you can just put it into the forks. Slides right on. This isn't like some of those other boxes that they give you. What's the toy like the forklift robot by Horikawa? That doesn't have like a metal pallet underneath it. And as far as the toy, man, this thing is boss. Look at it. It's got cool, like I like the green. It's like a pea green with orange, which is kind of unusual color. The only thing I'd say, the guy could probably use maybe a little bit more detail. Let me see. I gotta zoom in on his face to see. It's okay. I mean, you know, the earlier 50s toys, this is definitely 60s in my opinion, could be late 50s, but some of the toys have just a tad more detail on the lithography. It's not bad. It's got quite a bit. I mean, it's still pretty good. You know, I mean, it's I don't want to downplay it because it is pretty good. And again, it's got everything going for this thing. Let's look underneath it. Made in Japan. Look how new this thing is. It's really an impressive piece. $150. Come on, what the hell can you buy for 150 bucks? Graphics are cool. Here's your on-off switch, your battery compartment's over there. It's metal inside there. Anyway, no lights to worry about, so I can keep the lights on. And you know, enough talking about it. Let's turn it on and hopefully this thing works. The slide switch is over here. Looks a little recessed, but you know what? I'll put it forks up and let's. It's like bump and go. Let me put my bumper guards on here. Back a little bit, put him over there. So what he does is he's basically going to keep raising and lowering this pallet while he's going on his bump and go journey. The problem is that this thing is so big, if it hits, it actually impedes the toy operating. Oh, that's enough of that, man. Well, you know what? This guy wants to work. He's not like the lazy generation that wants to sit down and just do nothing. This guy's like, you know what? I got to put away 1,000 pallets of these toys and I'm going to get the job done. Anyway, that's your cool battery-operated mystery forklift by Rosko. You know, before I sign off on this, let me look one last time and see if there's any actual manufacturer's mark on here, like Nomura or something like that. Now, the bottom just says made in Japan. That's unusual, because usually, oh, and if you want to see how cool it is, the mechanism in there, let the forks bend. See that? There's your gears in there, nice brass gears. Wow, they look brand new too. But I don't see anything. Like, you know what? I'll take the batteries out. I doubt there's anything in there, but nope, nothing in there. Nothing on the guy. Huh. USA International. Could it be International Harvester? I'm trying to think of international. Is there an international company that made the forklifts? I don't know. Anyway, that's your mystery forklift with the luggage on the skid and the lifting and lowering action and bump and go action, which they didn't really mention. So anyway, if you like this, let me know in the comments and thumb up the video. With that, I always appreciate your time, and don't forget to thumb up the video too if you like it. So with that, thanks again for joining me, and I'll talk to you later.